Hello, my name is Rajiv, and today we will be. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Hello, and welcome to GIMP 2.8. Yeah, I know it belongs in a museum, but I couldn't be fucked compiling the unstable testing version from source. But it does. The testing version is pretty nice. I highly recommend it if you can get your hands on it. Just be sure if you are using that to save often, because it tends to crash once in a blue moon, especially on Windows. Now, I'd like to talk about something. Please don't be offended if I talk about this. I'd like to talk about paths. Now, it is an abomination that any man, woman, or child should have to look at vectoring as a luxury. GIMP is free software, licensed under GPL. While it lacks several features that Photoshop and Illustrator have regarding pathing, there are always workarounds, and you can get similar, if not identical, results with them. Here I sketched a couple of tribbles, scanned them in, increased the image size of at least 4K, and I'm going to go ahead and start pathing. So I guess I'll go ahead and select the path tool and get to it. In order to do these curves, these slight curves, I basically like, you make your next anchor. You make your next anchor, and then you hold Control and click in the middle of the path and drag, and that'll create the curve. It's a little different from Photoshop, but once you get the hang of it, it's real easy. Like, you'll get the hang of it pretty quick if you've ever used Photoshop for this. Alright, the first thing you should note when comparing Photoshop to pathing to like GIMP pathing is that if you have two handles on an anchor, like let's say you have this thing here, and then you want to see if you want to drag, there's no way to drag one handle closer or further from the path, from the node, while keeping the handles in line, like keeping them linear, without making them be like completely symmetrical. So in Photoshop you can do this, but keep them without being able to go out of line like that. You would be able to increase or decrease the distance from the node, and it would keep it in line with the other like handle. In GIMP there's no way to do that, so you have to sort of do a workaround, such as making more linear anchors but dragging them into position to get the shape you want. So yeah, that's the first thing you should note. Another thing to note is that in GIMP there's no way to designate paths as adding or subtracting from path area, or including or excluding overlapping like path area. The workaround is to use path to selection to either fill or delete the selection. So what I'm going to do is I've got this path here. I'm going to name it inner OL for outline, inner outline. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a new path, outer OL for outline. And then once you have that selected, you can sort of go around the outer and then you can hit this button right here. It creates the path outline, like it shows the path without you having to have it selected, which is something I just found out actually. So let's go ahead and do the outline, the outer outline rather. Yeah, to close the path, you hold Control and then you click on the beginning of the path. Yeah. So like I said, there's no fill path option and there's no exclude overlapping option. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and, let's say you have your sketch layer, you want to make a new layer. Oops, wrong button. Make a new layer. Let's call it outline. Make a new layer, and then you have that layer selected that you want to do your outline on. You go ahead and select the outer outline path, do selection from path, and then you go ahead and let's fill it black. Alright, so then you go to Control-Shift-A to deselect, and then you select the inner path, and then selection from path that, and then hit delete, and then Control-Shift-A, and that'll basically fill your path as if you were in Photoshop and you had the inner path set to exclude overlapping or exclude from path area. If you had it set up like that, this is basically what it would come out as. So another thing to note, or the last thing to note, is that in Photoshop it's very easy to select multiple paths and move them at the same time. While it can be a bit of a hurdle to overcome, it's no deal breaker. Like, it's not a big deal. So yeah, in conclusion, you have a very thorough system here for basic pathing. There's many similarities, and in many ways GIMP is almost identical to Photoshop and Illustrator as far as pathing goes, save for the key bindings. The key bindings are different, which basically if you jump right in, you can get the hang of it in no time. So I'm just going to go ahead and, for completion's sake, go ahead and color this brown, the inside brown. So what I would do would be the fuzzy selection tool, or the magic wand as it's called in Photoshop, inside the outline, and then I would go to select grow. I would grow by like 3 pixels, 4 pixels, and then let's make it brown. A brown triple. Yep, there we go. Oh, wait a second. I filled the wrong layer. Derp. Okay. There we go. Much better. And there you have it. Pathing in GIMP. Happy pathing. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my blog. I'm just kidding, I don't have a blog.